welcome to another live episode of Quirky Books TV. This is the place to be for life hacks on how to live your best life, be your best self and live your purpose. So in today's live episode, I want to talk to you about what a success jar is and why you need one. Just to let you know, there might be a little bit of a lag on this video. Unfortunately, my Wi-Fi is not the best in my flat. But I wanted to bring you this video as it's a while since I've done one, and I like to keep giving you those life tips to get your life back on track and keep it nice and positive and vibrant for you. So, if you don't know what a success jar is, a success jar is where you go through the year and you have a jar and you put little bits of paper in that you write on your successes each day. Ideally, you want to be doing this each day, but you at least want to be doing it once a week at the end of the week or whenever you have successes. Now, ideally, you want to be having a diary and write your successes down every day. So like, in order to live a really positive, happy life, you should be celebrating your successes and celebrating what you're grateful for every single day of your life. So this could be a gratitude journal that you use, and you put your successes also in your gratitude journal, or you might want to keep a separate gratitude journal to an actual success journal. So you might want to keep the two very, very separate, or you might want to amalgamate them together, or you might just want to write your successes down in a diary, or your you know, the things that you've achieved in your life in a diary, the things you're grateful for. So you can do it verbally. You can say out loud in the morning your successes, what you're grateful for, at the end of the night when you're going to sleep, so you're feeling really positive and vibrant and energetic. So you can do it verbally, you can write it down in a diary. But another way to do it is a success jar. So last year, it's still got the sticker on from last year, I did this success 2000 jar 2018. I actually ended up going into another new jar. Now I know we're like in March at the moment, 2019, so this is like quite a long time ago that I did this, right? But I wanted to save these jars for you because I wanted to explain how awesome it is to do this, because we lead busy lives, right? Especially if you're like an entrepreneur, or if you just like lead a really full, happy, hectic life. And then, you know, it can mean that, you know, writing down in a diary, you know, some people don't like writing very much, for, you know, they're not really into writing journals, although I do recommend it's very therapeutic. And other people, they just feel like they don't have the time. But with a success jar, all you literally have to do is have a notepad. So you can have any notepad. I mean, these are full of notes at the moment, but you know, you can have a notepad and you literally, you know, like find a spare piece of paper. I mean, I've got stuff all over that at the moment, but you'd literally just rip a piece of paper off and then you'd be able to write in your, so look, I've got a notepad here, right? So I have a notepad here, and literally all you do is you take a piece of paper off. I usually keep this in my hallway. You keep a pen handy. You can have it by the side of your bed if you want. And you just scribble your success for that day on it, and you literally rip it up. You know, you know, this is the beauty of having a success jar and doing this, because it doesn't have to be a pretty looking piece of paper. You can write, you know, you can just write anything down on there. You could have, like I said, you could have a gratitude jar and a success jar, or you can just keep it simply to a success jar and just speak about what you're grateful for in the morning when you wake up as affirmations. Like today, I'm grateful for the roof over my head, the food in my belly. I'm grateful for all the friends and family I have. By doing gratitude, you know, what you're grateful for, saying it out loud in the morning, gets your morning off to a really, really positive and vibrant and energetic start to the day. If you don't know what an affirmation is when you say something in the present tense, like it's happened or it's happening. And an affirmation is a positive statement you use to put yourself into a positive frame of mind, positive state of mind, positive being, and it just makes you feel absolutely fantastic about yourself and your life. So the more you can be grateful for, the more things that will come into your life that you will be grateful for, if you know what I mean. So positivity breeds positivity. So you want as much positivity as possible. Now, the good thing I found about Success Jar is that it's good if you're on the fly. If you're really, really busy, you live a really busy, hectic life like I do, you know, all you need to do is just write something down that you've been successful at. So maybe you've built a website that day. So you just wrote, I built a website, or maybe you did 5 blog posts. I wrote 5 blog posts. And then all you need to do is fold it up and you put it in the jar. And then when it comes to the very end of the year, which I haven't actually done this year, I wanted to keep it specifically for this video, and this year's been so hectic, you know, and plus, you know, sometimes the live Wi-Fi doesn't always work, so I wanted to get it where it worked. I don't know if you can see, but my modem's kind of poking out there, so I put it on top of the bed. So yeah, so basically, so the Wi-Fi would work better, that's why the modem's up there. So basically, I've got these 2 jars. My friend bought me these jars, actually, and I just stuck the sticker on, but I had so many successes last year that I actually ended up going to another jar. Now, I've not opened these, but the idea is that when you have a success jar throughout the year, you write things down and put it in it. But the action of actually writing stuff down on scrap piece of paper like this and physically putting it in the jar builds momentum. That's why it's kind of like, it builds momentum writing in a diary, but you kind of shut the diary, don't you? And you forget about it, and you haven't actually physically, I'm going to put you've written, but you know, with this, it's an extra step. You're physically writing it on somewhere, and then your act of putting it in something in a jar with lots of other successes builds momentum and excitement. And then what you do at the end of the year, it's another way of just writing successes, really. What you do at the end of the year is you literally tip these out. So if I do this now, they're not going to come out, are they? But if I do this now, you know, you can see like all these different, I have to have some space on my desk for this. Like you can see all the successes. Whoops. Going off the table here. All the successes are coming out. And this jar is absolutely full of them. You can see it's absolutely full of all these different successes. So last year, I was a speaker at the UK Asexuality conference in London. And that was one of my huge goals, ambitions and dreams. I always wanted to be a speaker in London. And so literally I got to do that last year, and so I was writing about that in my success jar. So I was appeared in Femme Medic in an article to do with asexuality. Asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction, by the way. So it's a sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction. So it means I don't, I'm asexual, a romantic, heteromantic asexual. I get attracted to guys romantically, but not sexually. I don't want sex with them. So yeah, so I do a lot of work online for asexuals, which is very niche, obviously. And I got to be a speaker at the UK Asexuality Conference, which is about 200 people there last year. Although when my speech was on, there was another room having speeches as well. So, you know, it's like kind of half of that. But it's really good, you know. And, you know, dreams and ambitions can come true. Now, I can't even get these out. So it's going to take me ages to get these out. But if you just look, you get the idea, don't you? That at the end of the year, you literally just tip these out or take them out. And basically, you've got a whole bundle of all the successes you have throughout the year. So it can make you feel really happy. And you can look back on your life the previous year. And you can just see all the successes you had. Like, I can't even get these out. It's going to take me hours to get these out now. But, so yeah. So, I might have to leave them in there. But you can see there's just like loads and loads and loads of pieces of paper. You know, and they're just all coming out. It's like a genie in the bottle, and you are the genie because you've written about all your successful, magical stuff you've done in your life. And at the end of the year, you can just literally get all these out and you can start reading them and remind yourself of how much you've done. Because what happens in life is that we tend to do a lot of things in our life that are really good stuff, but we don't praise ourselves enough, and we don't really take account of the things we've done. You know, and we go through life and we just like really sort of like let life pass us by. And if we are very active, you know, and we do a lot of good stuff, we don't, you know, we need to recognise it. And the thing is, we don't always celebrate our successes, but we must celebrate our successes because success breeds more success. So the more that you actually, you know, celebrate your successes, as it were, the more successful you'll be. And when you have a diary, you kind of like close it, don't you? You can reread it all, but sometimes it can take ages. Whereas if you've just got like jars like this, providing you can get them out, of course, then you can just read the little bits. And so, you know, I mean, it's going to take me ages to get those out. You see, there's just so many, but it's good. There's loads. And so if I, you know, I could read some of them out, you know, I've put dates, you know, like I've sold X amount of books in a day, like Kindle books and stuff like that. So, you know, that's like sales on my Kindle books. And then, what's this one? All right, so this is you know, these can be personal successes or professional. This one's about books I'm writing, and this one's about me going dancing on my own and meeting a nice guy that I was dancing with. So you can put whatever successes you want. They can be personal or professional, you know. And then you can put all this type of stuff like this, you know. I've done a whole like list of things here. You know, like I did 36 t-shirts, designed 36 t-shirts and uploaded them, and it took about 11 days to do it. So that was like a huge deal to me, because I design my t-shirts from scratch. I don't go around just copying other people's. So, you know, and I had a PayPal donate button to my channel. So there is a donate button to this channel if you want to donate anything. Every penny helps, you know. And so, you know, it's just really good. And then, you know, you just literally open it. Ideally at the end of the year, or when the new year's beginning, you can look back at the previous year. But towards the end of the year, before New Year, you usually do this. But, you know, anytime you're feeling down as well, or you forget how good you are at something, you can remind yourself, because you could keep these in the jars, you see. You don't have to take them out at the end of the year, but it's a good idea to, so you can look at all your successes. But you also might want to keep them in there, so that if you are having some down moments and some doubts, and you feel that you're struggling and you're not doing as much in life as you should be doing, and you're not progressing as much, you can just literally get these out and look through them, and it can make you feel so much better, you know. So, so yeah, so some of this is personal stuff that I can't read out. So I got a free business upgrade of something or other, which I can't tell you what. So, you know, and then, you know, so I got free stuff like online, a free theme and stuff. So there's lots and lots of stuff that, you know, I consider like really good. But this is very personal, some of this stuff, you know. And, you know, these are sales I made online. And so it's just really good, you know. So, you know, it's just really, really good. So, you know, these are other sales I've had, and it just goes on and on and on, you know. So, yeah. Just more sales. And this makes me feel really good, you know. This is all about blog posts that I wrote and published and scheduled. Then you got other things like newsletters and all that lot that was successful. You know, like I've been here in this flat for 14 years, so I celebrate my anniversary. I've been here 14 years on my own, looking after myself. I think that's really good. I think when you're an independent person, especially female in this society, because, you know, you're always seen as like a guy really needs to take care of you financially. When you live on your own and you're you know, you're a business girl, you know, you have to keep your own roof over your head, pay your own bills, pay your own food, financially look after and support yourself. And I think that's something to be celebrated in life. You know, so I think it's really important that you recognise both your personal and professional successes, you know. There's a business guy called Brad Burton. I follow him a lot. He's great. I'm friends with him on Facebook now, and he is an incredible guy. And in one of his business books online, he literally is, if your mindset's not right, then your business isn't right. And it's totally true. And in business and life, you have to keep your mindset positive as much as possible at all times. And the way you keep it positive is by reminding yourself of the things that you're good at, your successes, what you're grateful for, what all the good things are in your life, what you're blessed with, what you have got, not what you haven't got. And so it's really, really important, you know. It's like, I was selling loads of stuff last year, and there's just like tons of like little notes to myself about what I've sold, you know. And I got someone saying I look so young as well, which I am young. So, you know, it's all good. And it's just really important to keep records of your successes, you know, like what can you do with these at the end of the year? I mean, you could chuck them away if you want to, or you can just make, you can just put them all in Polly Pockets and have a look at them, or you could stick them all to a bit of paper and just remind yourself of them when, you know, really you want to be keeping them if you can, and remind yourself of everything you've done. So you could just get a scrapbook and just put them all in there, or some sort of book, you know, just like literally staple them all together. Or you can put them in a Polly Pocket and then file them away so they're all together. But, you know, so this is when I made a friend and I did some new journals. You know, this is blog posts again. So there's so many different things you can put on here. You know, like if you go hiking, mountaineering, if you win something, it might just be like if you've had a really, really rubbish day, you know, it might just mean I managed to get out of, you know, like say you've had a really rubbish day and you're not feeling very good, or say you've had a rubbish night and, you know, you just got up in the morning, you got dressed, had a shower, and you just chilled out and watched some movies, but you were feeling good. that is still a success. You know, successes don't have to be this huge big deal like, oh, like I said, I got to be a speaker at the UK Asexuality conference last year, which was an incredible life changing, amazing experience for me. I'd wanted to speak in London for like 2 or 3 years, but it's out of my comfort zone, so I do have some anxiety, and so I really had to push myself. But it was an amazing experience. I got to meet a friend that I've been friends with online for 2 years, and we met up beforehand. He did some camera work for me, edited my videos. I got to meet another guy who's one of my best friends. He did a guest speaking spot on my talk, in one of my talks, well, my main talk, because I did my own main talk, and then I was part of a discussion panel as well. So it's just brilliant. And from that, I got to be on the Avon media and speaker team. So I get to be in magazines and things like that to do with asexuality. So it's really incredible what you can achieve. But by having a jar, it's just the act of putting it in, that final step, not just write it down, put it in, it builds momentum, you know? Like, it's like, oh, I've got another success, stick it in, I've got another success, you know? Sometimes, like, I mean, I write tons, like, I'm fortunate this year, I've got this major, really good diary. So I've got a diary about all the stuff I need to do for the days. But in the back, it's like a notes as well. So I've like got goals and ambitions and dreams and notes I've taken to do with selling, from videos I've watched. So it's just really good, you know, if you can have a book as well, you know, like one part planning and part to write notes. This is what I love about this year's diary. My mum actually bought me this, is because part of it is notes, so I can plan things, and the other, you know, like plan things for future months and write special things down, like sales techniques and stuff that I'll need this year and things I need to pay attention to. And then I've got in the second part of it, I've literally got, you know, the actual diary where I'm writing day-to-day things that I need to do. So it's so important that you monitor your successes, that you write about your successes, and that you physically, you know, like by physically writing it, it ingrains it more into our brain, and then it gets into our subconscious mind more. So a lot of people, they live in their, you know, they live in their conscious mind. They think they do anyway, you know, like we think things, but it's actually our subconscious mind that we live in. So if we've got some beliefs from the past that are really negative, they're really holding us back, you know, to have those build up, it means that it can steer you on the wrong path of the future. You have to remain utterly positive in your life as much as possible. That's the name of the game. That's a major life hack, is just to remain positive. You know, I know it you know, it sounds so simple, but it's so hard to do. Like keeping a positive mindset all the time when you've got people who don't agree with you, people who don't believe in you, people who come in your life and they go from your life, people who are not supportive of you. It could be family and friends that you're really close to that don't support you. You know, when you've got all that negative stuff and it's just piling on you, you know, you feel like you want to explode and shout and run away sometimes. And I get that, I really do. So it's important for yourself and your own well-being that you maintain focus, productivity, maintain positive affirmations. So say stuff to yourself like, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you can do this, you've got this, come on, I believe in you, you're fantastic, you're great. And by having, you know, a success jar, create a success jar for this year, 2019, do one each year, and write little notes and stick it in there, because by doing that, you're building momentum, you know, you're building the like I said, the momentum up for more and more successes. And, you know, sometimes we live such hectic lives that we haven't always got time to write in a journal or diary. And just by the act of putting it in there, it just means that, you know, it gives you that extra subconscious push, as it were, to acknowledge you've been successful. But it's really good when you open them up, because you kind of forgot half of them, you know. Like this is when I organised an asexual meetup. You know, like, this is when I sent someone a message on Facebook and they felt appreciated, you know. And so I think that's really important, that you appreciate others as well, you know. So this is when I was approved from Amazon UK for selling asexual t-shirts. So this is when I scheduled 18 blog posts in one day. Wow. 18 blog posts. Created and scheduled 18 blog posts in one day. It's like, that is a lot of blog posts. And this is when I publish more journals and things to sell online. So it's just like wonderful. Oh, this one I've actually emptied nearly all the time. It's just one. This is my second jar. mostly, you know, and this is when I publish more journals and things. You know, like I've done my accounts, I've bought a course I needed to do and stuff like that. So when you're doing personal and professional development stuff, you need to be buying courses and things. So in order to be successful in life, you need to learn from other people how to be successful, whether it's successful in relationships, successful in health, in wealth, in money. You need to be like following people that you can see that's having some success in these areas. Like me personally, one of my successes in my life, other than being a published author, which I love, and being in a speaker in London last year as well, is overcoming depression. That's my main success in life, I guess. In 2012, I freed myself of depression that I've been like having for years since a kid. And so, you know, if you're feeling depressed, you know, learn from someone how they got out of depression and how they stay out of depression, how they maintain their happiness, you know. Like, this is why I'm teaching you this stuff on this channel, because it's so important, you know. Like, this is like, you know, I published a course on Udemy, so I'm a Udemy instructor now. You know, I rebuilt an affiliate shop at that time, you know, and it's like, it's just like all the stuff that I'm doing. I publish more journals. So you can see that all this is just like, this shows me how productive I am. So when I'm feeling like, oh my goodness me, I'm not getting very far, I'm not making as much progress as I'm sure you've had that feeling as well. You might be doing like 5-10 times more than everyone else around you is coming home and just sitting watching TV all night. You might be using that time wisely to do stuff, but you might feel that you're not getting very far. And to be honest, success takes time. You know, you can't always just get overnight success. It's like hard work, dedication, not giving up, just having that mindset that whatever happens, you'll never give up. You're just determined to succeed, you know. And I watched a video at the beginning of this year, and they're like, well, what's your one word for this year? What's your one word, like, describe your character? You know, if you were to die tomorrow and you had one word written across your tombstone, or 3 words to describe you written across it, what would it be? And usually I say quirky and different, but then I remembered the word determination, you know, and I realised that some of last year, towards the latter part of last year, when I was having a lot of problems, like I lost one of my furry kid guinea pigs very suddenly after operation, which was unexpected, and you know, I had a lot of illness last year. I was dealing with the grief of that, and you know, towards the latter part of last year, it was really difficult for me in my life, you know, but I really forgot, and it was amazing. In January, I watched the Brendan Burchard, I think it was, his course. He was giving it away free for a while, and in his course, he's like, what is the one word that you'd like written on there, people to remember you by? And it was like determined, you know, determined and enthusiastic, determined to succeed. And I'd forgotten that last year. I kind of had the oomph knocked out of me towards the end of last year. The first part of last year was amazing and incredible. And then sort of last few months, September, particularly October onwards, it's just like I was very ill, and you know, someone fell on my foot when I was out, and that was like, I couldn't walk properly, and, you know, and it took me a while to get my enthusiasm for my life and what I was doing back, but I've got it back, you know, this year. I'm determined. I just feel determined. And I'd forgotten that, you know, sometimes you can lose yourself when you're busy trying to live your dreams. You can just lose yourself in that, and you can forget who you are, where you came from, what you're about. And I am a determined to succeed person who's very enthusiastic about what they're doing. And just by doing that course, and just by reminding myself of 2 fundamental cores to my being that have helped me to succeed in the past, I know that I'm going to succeed now, this year, and in the future, because I've got my determination to succeed back. I haven't got this doubt and fear. I mean, I still have some fears, but I haven't got this constant doubt. I mean, you know, I'm not saying I haven't got any doubts, but it's going more and more dwindling. Do you know what I mean? I think everyone has some doubts and fears. That's natural. But if you can push them away, get rid of them. Ideally, you don't want to just push them away, but you want to actually get rid of them and channel that energy, you know. I'm just determined to succeed. At the end of the day, I just keep thinking I've got nothing to lose in my life, nothing. So I just keep having to be determined, focused to succeed, and taking step by step. When you've got something you really want to do in your life, you know, you have to break it down into manageable chunks. Sorry, there's a little bit of lag on this video. You have to break it down into manageable chunks so that it's not so overwhelming, because last year I was experienced tons of overwhelm. So now what I'm doing is just day by day doing a little bit towards my goals, ambitions and dreams, another bit, and I'm just like, something I wanted, a new business that I'm working on that I wanted to take only like, I don't know, several weeks, has taken me several months, but I'm just doing bit by bit by bit, and things keep cropping up. But I've got a printer now. I was saving up ages for a printer, and I've got this business printer that's amazing now, saving me a ton of money on ink. And you know, I'm going to be selling my old printer that's packed up, basically. And so, you know, just be grateful and thankful for the moment. Write down your successes. Grab yourself a jar. Write down your successes and shove them in the jar, so you can count up all your successes at the end of the year, and you can build momentum throughout the year. And, you know, break down all your goals, ambitions and dreams into manageable chunks, and do a bit at a time. Because, you know, I tend to procrastinate, I admit that. And the one way you can stop procrastination is you just make a start on a little thing, and you just do another little thing, and you just do another little thing. It can build. If you just look at the whole picture, sometimes you just want to scream and run away and walk away, and you don't do anything then. So just keep doing little bit by little bit by little bit. And, you know, just keep loving yourself. And then, yes, it might be taking me longer than some other people do, but I'm not living other people's lives. I'm living my life. And gradually do it step by step by step until you've achieved something. Because whilst you're doing that, there's loads of people that aren't doing anything, that are too scared to even try, and they won't even bother. You'll be one step ahead of them every single time if you bother to do this stuff. You know, get yourself a success jar. If you don't want to do the jar thing, do get yourself a notebook. Write down your successes every single day in it. Keep repeating successes. Repeat them in the mirror to yourself. That's a really good thing. The more you repeat things back in the mirror to yourself when you're looking at yourself, the more it ingrains it into your subconscious brain. And what do we want our subconscious brain to do? Lap up and absorb positive energy. Not negativity, but positive energy. And so in order to do that, we have to keep drilling it into our brains, like brainwash ourselves into living a more positive, vibrant, energetic, successful life. So I hope you found this video useful, helpful and insightful for you in some way to your success today, tomorrow and always. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate the thumbs up on this channel. If you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, please hit the great big subscribe button down below, and please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live, like now in this live stream, or post a new video. And don't forget to leave your comments down below. Have you got a success jar? If so, how effective have you found it? Do you write your successes down in a diary? What do you feel is the best way to do that? Daily or at the end of the week, such as a Sunday, or the beginning of the week, such as Monday? How do you keep your mindset positive in that state all the time, so that you're determined to succeed, and you're breaking through your barriers, and you're pushing through your fears, and you're doing productive work and getting somewhere in your life? How do you manage all that? I'm sure we can help each other on this channel. Please write in the comments down below, and I will see you on the next video or live stream. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and take